Hello and welcome to our BRC HACCP Horror and Harp C course. This is just a little introduction for you and just to explain how the course will progress. What we've done is we've tried to make it interactive for you so that you're not just sitting through an 8-hour Zoom session with a live trainer talking, but we shorten that session slightly to 5 hours so that you will have opportunity to work in an interactive Zoom session with your trainer and the other attendees on the course. But the other 3 hours of your day is spent doing some quiz questions, watching some videos, and doing some other interactive guided learning tasks that will help you to become familiarized with this particular course topic. Okay, so we hope that you enjoy it. We've had lots of great feedback from attendees who've joined these optimized courses that we call them optimized because as I say, you're not just stuck on a Zoom call for the entire day. All right. But we use this and we use your questions that you pose in these guided learning quizzes that you complete. We use your questions, we use your answers, we analyze them, and we use it for revision purposes. We'll discuss these topics as a lovely introduction into your Zoom session. And so it all works together quite nicely. So let me take this opportunity now just to talk you through what the course looks like. All right, the first thing that I always like to get out the way is the exam. Okay, this course is assessed via an exam and it's simply a multiple choice exam. So part of this course is getting through your Zoom sessions, but also getting through this guided learning work as well, so that by the time you get to the end of day 2, that's when we're all going to complete this exam together on the BRC Educate platform. And as soon as you've successfully passed that exam, you get to download your certificate. So it all kind of ends there. So hopefully your 2 days are enjoyable, value adding, great learning experience for yourselves. And finally, you will celebrate by downloading that certificate. All right, so that's kind of how we've structured this course. And as I say, this course and these guided learning videos that you're watching right now and the quiz questions, etc., that you will complete, all of this guided learning is the same learning whether you are booked on the BRC HACCP, Horror, or Harp C course. All right, hence why I've introduced all 3 courses to you in this video. Okay, so let's just put your mind at ease and let you rest assured that the exam actually isn't a big deal. It's certainly nothing to worry about, and I'll tell you why. You don't even have to do the exam if you didn't want to. You could get a certificate of attendance if you prefer, but when I show you how I don't want to say easy, but how wonderful the exam is and the fact that there's nothing to worry about, you're probably going to choose to attempt the exam anyway. All right. And then you will get a certificate of achievement, you see, when you've passed that exam. All right. So this is the first reason not to be put off doing the exam. It's open book. So you can refer back to all your course notes, all your course materials, and your relevant standard that you would be working to. Okay. It's all completely open book. That doesn't mean that you can phone a friend or use AI, all right, to try and help you with that exam. Trust me, that ain't going to work, and it's not going to help you at all. But you can, by all means, refer back to your course materials. Okay, the other thing is, as I mentioned already, it's multiple choice questions. So the answer is there somewhere. You just got to pick that answer. You don't even have to get them all right, by the way, and I'll show you why in a minute. I'll show you what your pass mark is. Before I get to the pass mark, you get 3 attempts. So let's say you don't pass the first time. That seriously isn't a big deal, all right? We just arrange another attempt for you. That's not a problem. We try not to do that on the same day. So if you don't pass on the first attempt, don't go ahead with the second attempt immediately. Just let your trainer know via the Zoom chat and we'll arrange another session. It's really not a big deal at all. Okay, but you get 3 attempts, 25 questions, and 60% pass marks. So you don't have to get them all right, just 60%. And you know what? You get your result as soon as you submit. And you also even get some time to review the ones that you got wrong. The BRC Educate portal doesn't show you what the right answer should have been, but they do show you the answer that you picked. And then they recommend that you review the particular knowledge information that you covered as part of the course. All right. So you do get to review the ones that you got wrong, but only for 5 minutes. So you need to do that quickly if you're interested in the ones that you got wrong. Okay. And then you cannot go back to that review page later on. Once you've passed, you go back to your syllabus page, and don't you worry, I will show you what I'm talking about and what the syllabus page looks like when we get ready for that exam. All right, you're going to go back to your syllabus page, and that's where you'll be able to download your certificate. All right. And you don't have to worry about trying to get distinctions. Some people say to me, oh, I wish I'd gotten a distinction. I can't believe I got that one question wrong. Really, you don't have to worry about it because there's no such thing as a merit or a distinction. You only see pass on the certificate. That's all anybody gets is a pass. Okay, it doesn't show you the actual mark that you got. It doesn't show how many attempts it took for you to pass. It literally just says pass on your certificate. So don't agonize over your exam results. All right. And we encourage everybody to have a go at the exam and get that certificate of achievement. All right, I'd like to share with you the actual course objectives. So these are some of the slides. You're getting a taster for some of the slides that we go through on the actual BRC course. So let's go ahead and just do a little bit of annotating here. Course objectives. We want to explain the benefits of doing HACCP well. Wherever you see HACCP, read HARA or HARP-C as appropriate to whichever course that you booked on. All right. Understand what BRC wants to see from your product safety plan. All right. We're going to go through the codex principles of HACCP. All right. It's the 12 logical steps and the 7 principles of codex. Right. You've got some quiz questions coming up regarding those 12 logical steps and the 7 principles of codex. And I repeat that. And my colleagues, trainers, depends who you get as your trainer on your course, we all repeat this phrase several times throughout the course. 12 logical steps and 7 principles of HACCP. It all comes from this document here called the Codex Alimentarius, Basic Principles for Food Safety. We actually give you that document, all right, the latest publication. We give that to you as part of your course materials. It's not a formal part of BRC's course materials, but we like to just add that in there so that you can see where it all comes from. All right, it comes from this original publication, published back in 1968, if I remember correctly, or 1969, something like that. All right. And we're going to describe the reasons why HACCP might fail. So there's a bit of critiquing involved on this course as well, which sometimes is the best way to learn, right? How not to do it is sometimes the best way to learn. Okay, and also we'll definitely talk about some common BRC non-conformities relating to this topic. Again, because it's useful to see, where not to go wrong. Okay, let's keep going. There are more. We definitely start with senior management commitment. Let's just underline that, right? Senior management commitment. There's a reason that's the very first section in all of the BRC standards, and that's because it has to start, right? The right culture, the right attitudes, values, behaviors start with senior management, don't they? And then the second section in all the BRC standards is your product safety plan, which is the subject of this course, of course. We also then look at the prerequisite programs. Let me just underline that one there as well. Prerequisite programs, because these are your basic programs that we get in place before we even start with a complicated hazard analysis for how you make your product. We start with the basics, and those are your PRPs. We go through the preparatory stages for developing a HACCP plan. We also call those the 5 pre-steps before we then go on to what we call the 7 principles. And I'll just outline this entire section here. This is describing the 7 principles. It starts with your hazard analysis, identifying CCPs, monitoring corrective actions, etc. Those are the 7 principles. So 5 pre-steps plus 7 principles gives us the 12 logical steps codex. Right, so that's where the 12 steps comes from. And then there's a bit of a case study review as well. Again, because that kind of reinforces what not to do. Remember, a case study often is not great for good reason. Because if we look at what's not that great, we then know to avoid those pitfalls, overcome them, and end up with a result that is good. All right, that's it from me for now. And if I'm your trainer on one of the future sessions, then I look forward to seeing you. Thanks for now.